Three, two, one, and we're live. Sean, what's up? How you doing?
Dude, I'm doing good, Brian. Thanks for having me on, man.
Yeah, no problem. So I reached out to you and I wanted you to come on. I wanted you to be my first guest, and you were kind of wondering what we were going to talk about or what it was going to be about. And I didn't really have a clear plan. I just wanted to get to know you more and more about your business and what you're all about. So, yeah, I watched a few of your videos recently, and one of them was about how you bought a truck recently, and the payment was roughly, I think you said 460, but you ran up to around $500 payment.
Yeah.
And I was just wondering, uh, did you get into reselling to pay for that car, or was there another reason? And what was your reason for getting into reselling?
Yeah, great question, man. So with the truck, I didn't get into reselling to buy a big, nicer vehicle, but because I am in reselling, I was able to afford like a vehicle like that. So essentially, I was out thrifting one day in my 2007 Ford Escape, and it broke down. Like something was going on. I was hitting the gas, it wasn't going. It ended up being the transmission. So too costly to fix an older vehicle for me. And I said, you know what? I feel like buying F-150, a truck I've wanted for a while. And I realized with eBay money now as a part-time 10 hours a week business, it was making enough to afford the payment. So I paid for about $500 a month and put a little bit towards the principal. I did borrow a lot for the truck, which I did not like doing because I really don't like being in debt, but I had to buy my wife a vehicle in May. So essentially now I have two new vehicles at the house, but eBay's been rolling. I've just been trying to stay consistent, and I honestly love it. Like, it's one of my favorite things to do.
Good, good. And there's a lot of good utility in a truck as well. It's not just it's a car. I'm sure you can get a lot of use out of that.
Yeah, no, great point. I actually came across a mountain bike, and it was like $15. And granted, I thought we're still at like the COVID hype where people were buying those bikes for a lot of money, like, the casual bike rider. But I still have the bike. It's probably worth about $100. I think I'm going to throw it in a garage sale if I can't sell it locally.
Okay. So we were talking a little bit before we started, just about full-time and part-time and where we want to go reselling. So I just want to jump straight into that and get to know your thoughts about that, because I know we're kind of going through a similar aspect. You asked me like, am I working full-time? And I'm not. I have no job right now. I was teaching last year, and I recently didn't renew my contract. So now I'm doing it full time, but I don't know if that's what I even want. I may want to get a part-time job or work into this part-time because, obviously I can make more money having a job and doing this. And it's tough to find items. So excuse me. So what are your thoughts about that? Do you want to do this full time? Is that something you aspire to do, or do you not want to? And how's everything working out for you?
Yeah, so I've also thought about this for a while. I've only been reselling a little over a year. I started September 2019, and I'm starting to see like the money kind of plateau. I make about $1,500 profit a month, but then like one month I made 3,000. And then at the virus at its worst in April, I made like 560. I didn't source a single item and I didn't list a single item because I didn't have any inventory, but I still sold some things. So the way I kind of think about it is, if I can make maybe like 60% of my full-time income with like a true, 20 hours a week, and maybe, I could do the full-time, but I think the sourcing is key. I would probably have to drive to bigger cities. I live in a town of about 110,000 people. Dallas and the Metroplex is about 2 hours away. So I was talking to my wife last night about it, and I said, I'd probably have to make like a day trip and then stay the night and source the next day to just kind of rack up some inventory. But a lot of it just comes down to like how good a buyer you are. Right now I really focus on shoes, jeans, some electronics, but the more I watch YouTube videos, the more I search the solds on eBay, and the more I learn. I got a bunch of Lincoln logs back there at my photo station. That's a bunch of the plastic pieces for it. I bought a whole tub of them for $5, and I separated in 3 lots, and one of the lots sold for $59 or $49.99. So I made like $32 after all the fees, and I got 2 more lots that I'm going to list at $50. So like, that's a great flip. And
I saw those Disney McDonald's
figurines.
little things you had. Yeah, little things you had too. And there was a comp sold for like over $100 or something.
Exactly. So I paid $10 for a bunch of McDonald's, the free toys, you know, and I could tell it was a collection, but alongside that, which I didn't really show in the video, was there's about as many of those figures as there were of these 101 and 102 Dalmatians, which look kind of similar. And I was thinking, oh, I wonder if those are worth like $100. And they absolutely were not. Definitely not as popular, not as much as a draw. So, you know, like had I dropped another $20 on those two bags, they'd probably still be sitting in my room. So it really just comes down to figuring out, you know, what out there is worth buying and getting really good at it. But yeah, I want to go full time. I had planned to go full time January 2021, and that was kind of around the time my car broke down. So I'm really glad that I didn't. But I planned for 2022. I kind of think I'm going to do like a little like series of how I'm planning to go full time and then making that jump to full time. But I think I can pull in 40 to 50K a year, which in my area here in Texas, that's actually a pretty good income. And, you know, I'm not trying to be like a crazy multimillionaire, but I definitely want to work for myself. I want to wake up in the
Mm-hmm.
morning and know if I don't feel like working, all I have to do is my shipping and I can just chill for a few hours and then work whenever I want. Because the structure of how work is for society, like I don't think it's the best, you know. I think it's good to work hard for a few hours at a time and then kind of take some time to chill out. And some companies are really good about that, but the company I work for, you know, they just want to get the most out of you. And, you know, I understand, you know, but
Once the
uh,
company gets to a certain point, it just there's so
yeah,
many people on board that it just gets too chaotic, and there's a lot of time spent doing things you don't need to be doing, or
no
yeah,
doubt, no doubt.
it's
So I
the
repair
smaller
copiers full
businesses.
time. A lot of people, I don't know if they know that I repair copiers. So I go into a bunch of businesses. I have to wear slacks, a polo, and like dress shoes, but then I'm like turning wrenches and getting toner on me. And the max dollars for a job like that, it's not a lot. I mean, it may be 40 grand. I'm not making that yet, but that's probably all it's going to be. Like with reselling, the more you put into it, like the more you're going to get out of it. So right now I'm making, you know, I feel good about the money I'm making. I'm enjoying what I'm doing. And then, you know, I don't want to go full time and not enjoy that feeling of reselling, you know, but at the same time, I would enjoy my own schedule. I think I would enjoy that the most.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. I value being able to work when I want over how much money I make. I mean, you know, obviously, the more money you make, the better. I'm not going to sit here and say money's not
Does
important,
it
but
bring happiness? Yeah.
yeah, it's great. But like, yeah, I think being able to work for yourself is the most important thing, and that's actually why I got into reselling initially, is because I wanted that sort of FU money, you know, that to be able
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
make money on the side and be like, hey, I don't like what's going on here. I can, you know, I can either go full time or just run my business for a little bit until I find a new job, which is kind of the situation I find myself in right now. And you have more options instead of like, oh, I have to stay here, and then you're struggling to apply to other places and whatnot. You know, why you're still like you have to work there to pay your bills or whatever. So
Sure.
that's been the nice thing. But I'm in the same boat as you in terms of picking up items in another area. I think I
Like
can pick up
category.
that too actually.
Oh, yeah.
So I can only pick up about 80%, I think, of my inventory here if I want to do this full time. If I want to do this full time, I think I have to drive to a bigger city and spend a day sourcing there. But as far as, yeah, so I've actually been meaning to make a video about this. So we can just talk about it now. But categories, like I do mainly clothing and shoes, and I don't know if you can see, but I have a bunch of DVD and VCR combos right here.
Yeah, there you
And
go.
that's only about half of them. I probably have a stack like up to there, like in the closet, that I've just been sitting on and I haven't listed because it doesn't fit my systems, you know?
Yeah,
Um,
it's not, yeah, you don't have a system set up for it. Yeah, dude, I totally
yeah, like
understand that.
when I can list 20 pieces of clothing quickly, list 20 shoes quickly, I can ship them out quickly. Everything is so quick, but with these, you know, you have to like turn them on, like test them and take pictures of them on and everything. And it's like, doesn't fit my system. But ever since I have been sticking to clothing and shoes, I honestly feel like my profit has gone down because I'm not shipping out all those like super high profit items that I find.
Okay.
But I feel like it's gonna like be better in the long term because I'm getting my systems really dialed in and I'm listing quicker. But it would be nice to be able to list those and get that money in right away. So I don't know. What do you think about sticking to certain categories versus like having a lot of different items? And I guess you kind of already touched on it a little bit, but
Yeah, I think going full time, I think you'd have to kind of pick up whatever is profitable, you know? So as far as the systems go with like the VCR, something I like to do as soon as I get them, I go straight to hooking them up. And I already have like the AV cables ready. And then I have a garage, you know, so I have like a table and I stick it there and, you know, I put the tape in, I fast forward, rewind. And if that's good, I pretty much leave it there at that table. And then I'll bring it right to my photo station when I decide to list. And I'll just hit it with the alcohol and I'll just take my, you know, I think I do 8 to 12 pictures for VCRs. And then I just stack them. Like I just kind of stack them on a cabinet or something.
Kind of like I had them stacked over there on top
Pretty
of each
much,
other.
but yeah, so you want to get that tested before you stack it, because then it's like you only have to move it so many
Right.
times, right? You move it from your car to your testing station, test it, and then you move it to your photo station, photos, and then you move it to your inventory. Because
Well, I
now
do
it's
test
like,
it in the store. Like I make sure it turns on and that the DVD comes out and everything.
yeah,
But
I see. Okay,
go
yeah,
ahead.
I do that too, but I also like I've found on probably like 10% of the time it doesn't, the picture or the sound is
Picture.
messed up.
So you got to test that. Okay.
So I always do that, but you know, it's kind of a roll of the dice anyway, because sometimes people don't know how to use them correctly. And sometimes the shipping, you know, may bang them around, but um, yeah, VCRs are pretty killer. I've been using the pirate ship, the cubic shipping, and as long as it's under that 18 inches and 20 pounds, I just put it in a trash bag and cut it up and tape it real tight, or a poly bag, but typically it's just like a husky trash bag from Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Interesting.
that's
Okay.
been, yeah, that actually saved a whole bunch of money. I mean, there was one time where one combo unit went to Hawaii and it was going to be like $58. And
Jeez.
then I did the cubic shipping and it was $12.78. So
Nice.
that was huge. I mean, ever since then, like I picked up a bread maker recently. I paid $6 for it and I think I can list it for like $100 and it'll be the same type of shipment. It'll take a little bit to box it up. Like if you're not used to boxing bigger items, but yeah, the clothing, I mean, it's definitely slower moving. It's seasonal. If you price it aggressive, you know, you can find them moving pretty quickly, but I'm always confused whenever some items sell super fast and then some don't, because I feel like I just did the same thing for it. So it's kind of, I don't want to say random, but it's
It feels
tough.
a little random. I feel that way
Clothing
too.
is slow moving, dude. I mean, it definitely is. And then I don't think people are shopping my store like a Poshmark closet. I
Mm-hmm.
think people are just typing in what they want in Google
Right.
and then mine will come up, because I've done that a couple times to see how high my listings are, and sometimes they're pretty spot on. Shoes, you know, typically are like 3 month or less sellers, you know. Sometimes it's a month, you know, and I price mine very aggressive. I pretty much hit the top of the market, and then I'll take like $5 to $10 less because I'm cool making that kind of a profit. But I'm not paying it more than about $5. But I do want to share like a pair of boots I got with you. I'm gonna put them in a video
Do
soon,
it.
but I figure I'll get you the exclusive, man. Check these
Hey,
things
that's
out.
what I'm talking about. Ooh,
Like,
nice, man.
look at
Yes,
the
we.
look at the QR sticker on it, dude. It's $479.99. These
Dang.
are
Yeah, those are nice.
old
Is that
Mexico
ostrich?
boots. Yeah, that's these with the
Nice.
studs is ostrich. Yeah. So I
We get a lot of
made,
those in a lot of that kind of stuff in Arizona as well, but they're always priced so high that I can never pick them up.
yeah, that was at a garage sale, and the
Oh,
guy had
nice.
$10 on it.
Oh,
I couldn't
wow.
even I couldn't even knock him down on it, because I think those used are going for 250 to like 300,
Oh, yeah.
and those have never been worn. So the problem with them though is I put them on and they fit. So
Ah.
I think I'm gonna sell my Red Wing brown boots and then keep those, because I have a pair of dress boots where I only wear dinners and things like that.
Hmm.
So I think it's gonna be those, and
Nice,
I don't
man.
know,
Dude,
man.
that's what we get into it for, right? I like sometimes you just
I know.
gotta. I've kept so many clothes, it's ridiculous. So, but it's
Yeah.
that's why we got into it, man. We started having fun, finding stuff for ourselves, and then we started selling it. So I don't know. I think it works. I'm always gonna keep stuff that I love finding. I don't know. It
Yeah.
is what it is.
And then I can still sell it. That's the great thing about it. Once you know how to like move products like with a platform like eBay, you can just like, it's like you're loaning everything you buy.
Hmm.
So I think it's pretty tremendous, man.
So I need your help on what I should sell this for. This guy right here.
Yeah, let's see it.
I got this at a sale that
Seahawks starter.
one of my friends knew I'm a reseller, and they told me that they were gonna have like a rummage sale from the work. She let me come in like the night before and pick everything up. And I picked up this bad boy. It's like a vintage starter Seahawks jacket. And I was talking to Flippin' Eric yesterday and this morning.
Yeah, I saw y'all's comments.
Yeah, and he had a video where he saw one at Goodwill that was listed for like $800 or something like crazy like that. And I looked online.
That's the going rate, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I saw one stuff for like 275 and a bunch of them for like 100 and some of them for 200. I don't know. So I don't know what to do, but it's like a nice like thick jacket. I don't know. It's pretty wild.
Let's see.
And I know you're a football fan, so
yeah, and that's the thing. Whenever like there's like people who watch football, but fans short for fanatics. So like people love their teams. I mean, all right, so I think I would price that at, man. And you know what's good? The Seahawks are a better team. Like I'm a Bears fan, but the Seahawks are such a better team. There's 47 of those starter jackets listed, and there's 60 sold currently. So they're definitely selling fast. I think $299 with like free shipping. That's how I would price it.
That's what I was going to do that, and then best offer.
If you want to just move it, you could do $199, but it's football season. The Seahawks may actually like make it to the Super Bowl. So, I mean, you could wait till the playoffs start, you know, because last year I was watching the Bears and they went 8-8, but they were playing Dallas, right? And I was watching at my dad's house where I watch all the games. And I was so like jacked up for them to beat the Cowboys because here everyone's a Cowboys fan and I can't stand them. And the Bears ended up beating them. And when they beat them, I like spoiled myself with the Bears, the starter satin button-up bomber jacket. And dude, I paid like $95 for it, and it was, you know, used and whatever. And if it was the coolest one I saw, and I probably would have paid like $200 for it just because I'm impulsive and they just won the game. So yeah. I definitely think you can get $200 for that easy.
I would
press the market.
Yeah, I'll wait till playoffs and then I'll put it up for 300 best offer. See what rolls in. That's a good idea. That's what actually I have it in. I already took the pictures of it. It's in a draft right now for 300, and I just wanted to wait and see what you said. So that's interesting that we thought about the same thing.
And the way I price that is like, I mean, if anybody's like new and watching and not sure, like I just typed in Seahawks starter used jacket. And then I just sorted like high to low, and I saw like $299, you know, for like some of the top ones up there. So that's essentially where I priced mine. And you didn't have any flaws on that. Like a lot of times a little clip falls off, like that starter clip.
No, it's in like perfect condition. It's great.
Yeah. So
it was dirty when I got it. Like I cleaned it up.
So you found that at a rummage sale? What'd you pay for it?
$4.
Oh my gosh.
So I went. Well, yeah. So a friend of mine said, hey, we're having a rummage sale. You want to come in the day before? So I just went in and picked up a bunch of stuff, and she just gave me like a flat rate on everything, and it came out to like $4.30 like an item or something. So yeah, I think I ended up spending like, I don't know, $80 or something. But
I'm gonna respond real quick.
No, that's cool. Yeah, I think that's
that mountain bike. I have it. Do you use any local selling apps like Marketplace or OfferUp?
I've done a few Facebook Marketplace sales, but not a whole lot. I think like 2. Done like twice.
Yeah. So I actually started selling on LetGo, and they were recently bought by OfferUp. But that's where I sold I think like 15 things. And then I figured out about eBay. Like I've always kind of knew, you kind of know about buying and selling, but I didn't know how profitable and how many items I could handle.
Right.
Until I got into eBay. But I have that bike up on OfferUp right now, and somebody's messaging me about it. So I'm going to probably hit this sale up. Make sure that guy. And I try to get them to meet me like as close as possible. That's
the part I don't like. I'm trying to streamline everything. That's why I got into clothing and shoes, is because I was able to just wake up. If I had 10 things I sold, it takes like 5 minutes, no longer 5 minutes to do shipping. And I don't have a lot of space, so I can't really store. I'm in an apartment right now, so I can't store like bikes and stuff.
What printer do you use?
The Dymo 450 Turbo, the smaller one.
Turbo?
Yeah.
Man, I made a huge mistake this week. Like, not a huge mistake, but I have like a big commercial copier that I got from work for free.
Oh yeah, I saw it in your video. I was like, dang, I think I commented on it. I was like, thing's huge.
It's massive. Yeah. I think it's like, I think that one's like 12 years old, but I just used the bypass for labels. I ran out of labels, and I was like, oh, that's no big deal. Well, I typically get from 1 to 5 sales a day, and then the weekends is usually better. So I had to use regular paper and cut them and then tape them. And dude, it took longer to do that than it took to actually package and like print the label. Just like cutting and taping. It was terrible. And
That's a lot, man.
I know I ordered some right away, but I think I'm going to get the Rolo for Christmas for my parents. So I'm kind of holding out on that. They never know what to buy me, and then they end up buying stuff that I don't use. So I told them like a while back that
my mom is terrible at gifts, dude. They'll give me those random stuff.
Yeah. They'll give you like a Kohl's jacket for $20. And then you're like, I'm not going to wear this. Like I could thrift something way better than this.
One time when I was a kid, I don't remember how old I was, but she got me like an electric detector where you literally just text like where electricity. And I was like, Mom, what? Like, you're a kid, you want like a toy? I don't know. I guess she thought it was just like a cool toy, but I was like, man, this is pretty bad, Mom, even for you.
No, that's why they have the Santa list, because they don't really know. They don't know what you want.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. I love
that's how I started doing it, by the way, is when I first started, the first couple things I sold, I would just tape it on. And literally when I got my first like $80 and I was just selling stuff around the house, the first thing I bought was the Dymo printer, one roll, and this scale.
Yeah.
And that was it. With that, I think that came out to like $87. So it was like perfect. That was the first thing I bought.
Awesome, man. Yeah. I'm really pumped to get the Rolo. I mean, I need it. This thing, like I turn it on and my lights flicker in here because it draws so much. And I'm like, dude, something's going to blow one of these days. But it's great. It's just takes up a lot of space though. I'm in a 10 by 12 room right here, our smallest bedroom. And, I'm at like 240 items on the store and I probably have like 10 items I need to list, 10 to 15. So I'm going to have to like really beef it up because I kind of want to get to that like $400 mark on items to see like that full-time income really start happening for eBay. But at the same time, like I sell as much as I can list, like I only source maybe 4 hours on the weekends and then like 2 hours during the week. And the rest of the time I'm just shipping items and then I'll list a bunch of items on the weekends. And that's really all I've been doing. So it's just really hard to press, man. You got like a family and people I got to spread attention to. And then I'm trying to do YouTube videos. I want to get the word out there. I want people to have the knowledge to go start a eBay store and be able to buy nice things. Like I would never buy that truck with the regular income that I have now. It wouldn't make sense,
That's what I love. That's what I love about it. I love it when people know too, like what they're going to use the money for. Like you're like, oh, I'm making this amount and I'm able to buy this car. Or like in Eric's video, I was watching him and he was talking about how he's buying a rental property with it. Like, I love it when it's like, you're doing it for a reason. And that way, when you're working on it, okay, I'm going to be able to get this thing out of it instead of just kind of doing it. And I know that's what I need. I need to have like a clear plan. Like, all right, the money is for this. Like right now I'm kind of all over the place. Like, I don't know if I want to go full time or if I want to spend the money on whatever. I feel like I need like a reason to really focus me.
Do you do pretty well on keeping track of how much you're making and how much you're spending?
I do have, what's it called? What do I use? Intuit Self-Employed QuickBooks app that pay like it's like $22 a month or something like that. So I do keep track of that. Some months I get kind of lost and I get behind. I try to make sure at least like by the time the quarter ends, I'm like up to date, but sometimes I do slip up on my bookkeeping, but I do kind of know what I'm making. Plus it's pretty easy for me to know, like I know I'm making roughly about 50-ish% on my sales. Yeah. So same. I kind of just know that that's the number. Or it might be a little bit, some months might be 60, some might be 40, but on average it's around 50. It's pretty easy me to see like, oh, I got $2,200 in sales. I got about 1,100 this month in profit or whatever,
Yeah. So you do you did a little retail arbitrage?
Yeah. I've been getting into that a little more. I started out doing that in the beginning and then I started thrifting more. And then now I'm adding it back in as like supplemental as I get more capital. I'm like, what do I do with this money? And if you buy more inventory, I'm not paying taxes because I'm reinvesting into the store. So I'm like, I want to start buying more high profit items and putting it in the store. So I've been
I may go to Walmart today and check out the webcams, man. I bought that. It's called like a Ryko webcam and it had their little ring light on it. And I paid like $95 and I sold it for $140 in one day, because there's like 130 listed. Yeah. 130 listed and like 900 sold. So and that was the highest I could sell it for and it sold. So
It was
It's kind
on
of
clearance or sale, or what was it?
I don't think it was on clearance. I just think the demand for it's so
The
high.
demand? Yeah.
And that was the only one I think like in town, like webcam. There was none at Best Buy. They were all sold out. And granted, that was kind of like right when school was coming back, so maybe that's why.
Hmm.
Maybe everyone's got their setup
They
already,
needed
but
it, yeah, for school starting up
yeah, they need it for
and
Zoom
work
and for school. So
and teachers.
smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. I've bought 7 pairs of shoes from Burlington since I started, and 6 of them were quick flips, man, within like a couple days or a month, and I got the money that I was expecting out of them. One of them finally sold, and I lost 6 cents on it because I spent like 20, I think it was 29.99, so it was like 32 something, and it sold for I think 40 or 45 bucks, and I ended up making I lost 6 cents, but I got my money back for the item. It's
Mhm.
because it was an indoor soccer shoe and it was like a size 13, and those dudes I guess are much smaller and have smaller feet, so a little bit of a bad buy, but it's exciting when they sell, because you saw it right there on the phone and you're like, okay, I'm gonna buy this. Like I think it's Reezy Resells does all that, and
Mhm.
I mean he's buying the stacks and stacks of shoes, but you end up sitting
That's
on some of that stuff though.
yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing up here. As you can see
Oh,
those
with
shoes
those
up
black
there.
boxes.
Yeah, and back here I have some more, but
Are
um
those the racks from like Lowe's?
no, I got them at Costco.
Those have the wheels on them too. Yeah, that's the good one.
Yeah, they're these were $90. And then I went to some
90.
website and got these like custom boxes. I've been meaning to make a video about that. And because I got them to like fit perfectly, and I like them because they stick out a little bit, so I can like put my fingers under and bring them out without
Yeah.
like grabbing the top and then it breaks the box. So
Were the boxes pretty cheap as opposed to the
yeah,
plastic bins?
yeah,
Yeah.
they were much cheaper. It was great,
Nice.
and it came with more than what fits on the rack, so I'm gonna be able to use them for the next rack too. So
That's
I'm
awesome,
actually
man.
probably need to do that today or tomorrow. Yeah, it was much cheaper. It was nice. Yeah, I gotta make a video on that. I've been meaning to.
That's cool,
But
dude. Yeah, I mean, having that stuff in play is kind of why I want to give myself this next year, And granted, I started selling in September 2019, but I didn't really start making that, over 1,000 until like February, of this year. So I kind of want to have a full year of, this is projecting how much I'm going to make. And it's not like hour for hour on effort and stuff because it's kind of random. It's sales.
mhm.
But if I can get, like I said, that 60%, I'll feel good about it. I think my wife will trust my abilities because I'll still pick up like mowing lawns. Like now that I have the truck, it's going to be a lot easier to travel around the neighborhoods and do that. And that's stuff I enjoy doing too. And that's another part of having your own business.
Mhm.
I repaired a woman's microwave for 60 bucks. I just had to troubleshoot it, order a part, and install it. So I profited like $40, and it took, maybe an hour and a half, possibly,
That's so
just
cool.
because of the time.
Like whenever I feel like historically when I was an employee, I always thought of businesses as like, oh, you need to have some brick and mortar thing and people come into the place. But like a lot of it
Yeah.
is just hustling, just getting clients and going to their place and doing the yard work or whatever. And I think that's so cool.
Mhm.
I would much rather do that than have a job or whatever. That's
Yeah, it's
awesome.
just a lot of people can't handle the uncertainty of not knowing where their next dollar is coming from.
Right.
But like the woman I repaired the microwave for, she's actually a Jehovah's Witness, and she is like, it's my mother-in-law's friend, or whatever friend, and she knows a lot of old people. So like I feel like I'm gonna get a lot of like honeydew type jobs. And I actually considered like a handyman career whenever I was in construction and learning a lot about repairing things and framing and different things like that. But my neighbor was into that business, and he said how difficult it was to have that alone. And he also did lawns and he did all this other stuff. And then I kind of got into reselling, and I was like, this is pretty solid. Like, I don't need much money to feel comfortable in my area because the cost of living is so low. And it's just kind of adding to your repertoire and having that desire and work ethic, I think, is the most important thing. If you can get up and work 10 hours a day and be all right with it, like, you're gonna make it. Eventually things will fall into place as long as you keep polishing up what you're doing. If you keep doing the same thing, keep going to the same stores, you're probably going to see the same results.
I'm kind of in that boat now where I feel like my last 2 months were not good months for me. And it was the
Really.
first time where I really was like, oh wow, I'm having a bad month. Like this is happening. Like previous that I never really had a bad month. to be honest, like a really bad month. Like I've had less, sales or whatever, but never was like feeling that bad about it. In these last 2 months, I was like, man, something's wrong. Like I need to fix this. This is the first time it's happened. And man, the past like week and a half, I went from working, just like a normal 40-hour a week or whatever to enlisting maybe like 60 things a week to now I'm like projected to do roughly like 100 a week. I'm working like 10, 12-hour days, and not just on reselling, but like with YouTube too. And I don't know, man, I've just been going hard lately. What's your like weekly amount of items you want to list right now?
Yeah.
What's really like do you have a goal?
No, and that's part of the problem. Like I kind of want to get a like a dry erase board or something, I know Derek Fundamentals Side Hustle and a bunch of other people, they have boards like accountability boards, and they write down how much
I
they're
want
making,
my door right here that every day I write down how many listings I got done that day. I'll finish.
Yeah, for me, I almost want to get like most of the stuff or all of it listed before I go buy again. Now that doesn't really count for Monday and Thursday because I'm so busy with my job during the week and like hanging out with my wife and the dog and all that good stuff. But like usually before Saturday, like today, I want to have all the stuff I bought in the week listed. So like Friday night, I spend a lot of time listing, and then I want to get most of that stuff listed by Monday, and then through the week, I won't list, but I just do batch listings, man. I don't list 3 items a day or 5 items a day. I'll just list like I said today, probably 15 or 20 items, whatever I have here. And then it'll generate a lot of sales. It typically does, man. But yeah, I know what you mean. Cause during the week, there's times where I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to get a sale today, and then all of a sudden something will pop, and then, but I send the offers out, I'll send a 5% off offer to any watcher because, I just want to like generate something on eBay. Like, and a lot of times I get other people buying the item for full price when I send that offer out. It doesn't happen all the time, but it's really nice when it does. And I know it probably wouldn't have happened had I not sent that offer out. So don't have a goal. I think full time, like I watch Chris with Daily Refinement, and he does like 15 $10 profit items a day is what he says, to kind of generate $1,000 profit a week. And that puts you at what, 52,000 before tax. So that's pretty tremendous. And I always think about, I'm like, dude, how would you get that many items? But I'm starting to kind of shift into paying $1 for something to sell it for a minimum of 25. So I'd have to list it about 30. And that's kind of what I'm thinking would be like my gap fillers, like that consistent stream of lifeblood items. And then have like your big hitter items like these boots or like, the VCRs. I bought a donut for a tire, and those go for over $100, So I actually got it for free at an estate sale. It was for 15, and I just like chatted with the women long enough. And then they were just like, just take it. Like they're so happy with YouTube and what I was doing and stuff. They just let me have it. So that's a long tail item, but that's going to be like $75, So that's kind of what I'm thinking.
I watched Daily Refinement a lot. He has helped me out so much. I actually bought a shirt. I should have wore it for this podcast. Yeah, his Make Progress daily shirt. But yeah, so I'm kind of doing the opposite of what he did. What you said, like the 15, was it $10, 15 a day?
$10 profit items, yeah.
So I was doing the $15 profit 10 items.
Okay.
The opposite of that. And so that was Monday through 60. That was not listing on Sunday, so it was a little bit less. So Monday through Saturday, 10 items a day, $15 profit. And now I'm trying to bump, because I haven't been doing so well, I'm trying to bump that up to 100 listings a week instead of 60, just for, until I get my store back up to where I want. But yeah, he lays it out.
Like, his motivation, like, I mean, he really gets you kind of jazzed, because you can tell he's all about it. So he's a pretty good guy to listen to.
Yeah. All right. So I've been reading some comments from you about you've been kind of burnt out maybe a little bit on YouTube, and I don't know. What are your thoughts about that? What are your goals with YouTube, man?
I don't know, man. I mean, I'd love to get monetized. I think that's most people's goals, to get monetized and have some type of like passive income coming in.
Dude, don't give up. Dude, you really are almost there. I know you're not above the halfway mark, but really, like, I feel like that first couple hundred really is like the hardest part, because you don't really know your content yet or what you're doing. And like now you've got systems in place, dude. I really think you get 1K pretty easily.
Well, I appreciate that, Brian. And what it comes down to for me is like, I watch people's YouTube videos and I'm always like, man, how did they make their thumbnail like that? How did they do this? And I know I can figure that stuff out because I figured out how to do the videos in the first place, but I just don't spend the time on it. And I feel like I'm putting out stuff that's subpar for what I would want to see. And that's kind of the block I'm having,
All
but at the
creatives
same
think that.
time,
That
all
never,
creators think that.
I do not think that ever goes away. If you're doing
Really?
something
Yeah.
creative, I don't think you ever go, yes, I put out a perfect product. Yes, that was no, like that doesn't happen. Every video you're going to see it's never going to come out the way you thought it did. Like if you're making music,
Yeah.
you're going to have an envision and that's great. And then you try to put it through the instruments, the keyboard, the guitar, everything you put together. It's not in, if you ask any musician, they always say it never comes out to what they thought it was going to. And sometimes it comes
Good
out something
point.
great, sometimes it doesn't. I don't think you're ever going to be satisfied as an artist. Like other people might love it, but it's not going to be what you wanted. You know what I mean? I don't know.
That's a good point, dude. I'm glad you said that because and sometimes I get like motivated to do it. I put out a couple more videos and I'm like, let's go. I got my first thumbs down in my most recent video, and I'm excited because that means you made it, man. That means somebody is like feeling challenged, and they're like, oh, I'm thumbs down because I don't like it. Like they just don't need to watch if they don't like it, but they had the time and they're like, I'm gonna thumbs down it. So I'm actually not too beat up about that, but
Yeah.
it's like I thought about putting other elements of like videography into my like thing, like rolling a ball and then having me walk by it and just, and then looking at the camera. I see all these slow motion effects and stuff. And I'm like, dude, I can do that. So I'm going to try to con my sister-in-law's boyfriend to like actually shoot video for me, like him hold the camera and me do whatever I feel like doing. And then maybe like peppering some of that in. So you're right, man. I appreciate the vote of confidence. It is hard to build subscribers. I just don't want to like people are like, man, I wish I could just be at the top of the algorithm. I'm like, I really don't. I don't know if that'd be the best thing for people to be like, oh, who's this guy? And they click on it and they're like, yep, that's okay, But nonetheless,
Yeah.
man, I do like it. I do like talking. I talk a lot. My wife does not want to hear about eBay 24/7, even though I could talk about it 24/7. So YouTube's a great outlet for me to kind of like get everything out of my system and truly I just want to like I want people to relate and figure out like, oh man, I can make money like this. Like I think the most views I have on a video is how to pack like a heavy dumbbell. And I get a lot of organic views because I feel like somebody at their keyboard is like having that problem and they're typing that in and then my video will come up. So that's kind of what I want to get into more. Like I want to try to remember what it was like when I didn't know much about reselling. Like,
That's the hard part. You start to get disconnected because
right.
there's so many things. When I was starting, I was like, dude, I should start YouTube. I should, now that I figured this out, I should make a video about how I fix this problem. And then it took me like a year and a half to get started. And now I'm like, oh yeah, what did I need help with again? You start to
Yeah.
get
Like
disconnected.
I didn't know how to figure out how to use USPS.com. I didn't know how to like ship items. There's all these different things, man. And that's kind of what I want my content to be like entertaining, but I also want it to be like helpful. So, but yeah, man, YouTube's great. And it's a good thing because I know like my future kids in 20, 30 years, they can come back and watch some of these. And I always kind of wonder what my dad was like when he was at my age. And I just have like these really old grainy photos and like some things like that. So, and whatever memories I have as a kid. But yeah, so I really enjoy that aspect of YouTube because I have a terabyte hard drive around here and I always fear it's going to fail eventually because they all fail after about a decade or more. So, it's
Yeah, I want
not
to get one of
100%
those like bays where you put, you partition all of them together so that way one like drive fails, it tells you it fails, but it still backs it up on another one. Then you
yeah.
change out the drive.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's a whole nother deal too, man, with the computers because copiers kind of just like steps your toes into like the networking and like the vast world of all the computer stuff. So I like getting out of that. I want to get out of that career because it's extremely confusing. It's rewarding when you figure out a problem, but it's not rewarding when you figure it out and don't know why you figured it out exactly or don't know why it went wrong. And that's what I deal with a lot, because there's
Wait,
no
you are
answer.
in networking?
No, I repair copiers. What I meant by that was
Oh
like
yeah. Okay.
sometimes people have big copiers and then they're a small town, so they have no IT support and they think we are that person. And then they want us to start messing with it. So the more I learn about it, like the more discouraging it is because of how convoluted everything is when it comes to dealing with those types of systems and not being able to explain to them why their stuff went offline or why this or that happened. I mean, it's a whole nest of problems that I don't want to like know or get into. So I'm trying to find something that's easygoing. I can go buy stuff. I can work with some numbers. I do like doing that, and I can just like chill out and sell some things, and people will get some good products. So
That's funny. I was actually looking when I quit teaching. I was looking to get into IT instead, and then I was working on my A+, and then I'm actually taking a web development course, and I kind of went that route instead. And so I'm kind of doing reselling and YouTube and studying the web development, and so I'm basically working from the time I wake up to the time I go to bed on one of those things.
That's awesome, man. That's good.
crazy.
It's good to have stuff, and even if you don't use it, like you'll know it and stuff.
Yeah, well, I think it'd be cool to make a website for like your own website, for reselling or whatever, be able to put your own items on there and drive traffic to it.
Yeah, that could work. I mean, that's another thing. People are like, well, why don't you sell on Mercari and this? And I'm like, well, eBay is so powerful. I mean, it's like,
I agree. I still haven't. Yeah, I'm still debating whether or not I want to cross list. I mean, I don't know. It's like, I think I do well on Poshmark, especially just because I do mainly clothing and shoes. But I don't know. It seems like a lot of work. Like right now, I have everything set up. Honestly, like I think
a lot of work.
it's a lot of work. And do I really think it's going to? I don't know. I feel like I could just spend that time listing more on eBay, and then eventually my sales will just catch up because I have more things listed rather than spending that time. I don't know. Like, does it really equate to more money? I don't know. Versus just putting more on eBay.
Yeah, that's a question for like Brittany at Essential Endeavors or like Taylor Bell. They're both like cross listing a lot, but they're using apps to help them or the list perfectly. Some of those other things, and it's just like another subscription. It's another username and login. It's another shipping method. Like I do like Pirate Ship because it can import from eBay. That's pretty cool. I've been using that a little bit more, and I don't know, man. I mean, the other thing though is some clothing items sell for more on Poshmark, than they do on eBay. And I can only expect Poshmark to grow. I don't really see.
I don't know. I'm not too sure about that. I mean, maybe. Because I don't know. I feel like it is more. I don't know. I don't know a lot about Poshmark, but it seems like it's more of like a trendy clothes sell on it. So it might. I don't know. I just don't have confidence in it in comparison to like eBay or Amazon that's been around. They're the top two websites, and they've been around for so long that I feel like Poshmark could make it to like one of those big, platforms. But I feel like you are in a way kind of gambling if you're an only Poshmark seller. I mean, if you're cross-listing, you're not gambling because you're spreading it amongst everything, and if it dies tomorrow, it's whatever, right? But like, if you were only doing Poshmark, like that's probably, I don't know. I think it could die at any moment.
I've talked to a couple that resell in town, and I don't know how well they do. I think they're one of those people that just pick up items that they think look good, and then they said like, "Oh, you only sell on eBay," and I said, "Yeah," and they said, "Well, you can't make that much money. You have to cross list." And I was kind of like, "Do you though?" I mean, I don't think you do, man. I think you just need to like be really good at that,
It depends. If you can wait out and not have to sell your item right away, and you just keep building up your store of clothing, eventually you're gonna start making the same amount as if you did cross list on, Poshmark. It just means that you have to be willing to sit on those items.
Yeah. How long do you typically sit? Will you just sit until you get that price that you're looking for?
Yeah, but I'll throw up sales once in a while. Like right now, because I'm not doing well, I'll probably throw up like just like a 10 or 20% sale just to get things going again. Although today I had a really good day. I had a few $100s in sales just today.
Oh, nice.
Which I haven't had that in a while, so I was pretty excited about that. But
I'll probably it's interesting when people decide to buy. Sometimes it's like Friday, that nighttime when people are off work or after they get their paycheck and they're just sitting on their phones buying. Now, these pair of Merrells, like the Jungle Mock shoes, they were in pretty good condition, and I think I paid like $3 for them or something, and I had them at $39.99 with free shipping. Someone offered like $32.21. And I was kind of like, it's kind of a weird offer, but I accepted it, and that's typically I'd want 35 as a minimum on that, but I accepted it because it's like, I don't know. I mean, what the hell? That's like 20 something dollars. Seems fine to me, but some people would be totally against it and wait for that full price. But
yeah. Do you have best offer on everything?
Yes.
Most everything? See, I hate it. I only do best offer on things I'm not sure of or are really high priced. And so I price it super high and then kind of take whatever comes in. but like 90% of it, I don't have best offer. If they really want to make an
Really?
offer, they can message me and sometimes I'll take it, but I don't want to do that work. Like I'm trying to streamline everything. I'm trying to have a good inventory. I'm trying to list the same item, sell the same item, ship out the same way. I'm trying to just streamline everything so it's as easy as possible to just run the
Yeah.
system, the cogwheel. I don't know.
No, dude, everyone does it like a different way. Like Kaiser from Reseller on the Road, he doesn't have best offer on anything. It's all just the one price.
Which is
And
interesting because he seems to be, need to get the inventory out to free up space, right? I don't know. It's
well, he's got
interesting.
a lot of glass. He said he had 700 glasses. He has like a little over 1,000 items, and he had 700 glasses, and he fit them in like 3 tubs.
Jeez.
So, and then he doesn't have like rent. He lives with his parents and stuff. But um, I don't know, man. I want to like churn the items, and then I want people feel good about a best offer. Like some people won't buy anything unless they feel like they're getting a good deal,
Mhm.
even if it's like you're pricing high and they're
That's why I
offering
throw up
low.
sales though. So then they feel like, oh, it's on
Yeah.
sale or whatever. I
Honestly,
don't
dude,
know.
I've never put a sale on anything. Like I've
Really?
lowered the price of items, but I don't even know how to do the sale feature on eBay. Like I would need to like watch
The
a
video
video on
idea,
how to
do it and then make a video on it.
I don't want to, man. I don't really want
Yeah.
to learn it because that's what I like about the best offer. That's how I see
Mhm.
it. Like, if you say somebody can message you, which is true, but I get a lot of times I get offers and I just like those shoes, 39.99. Someone would offer 30 and I would counter with 35, which is what I want to make on it. And they would usually accept. And that's just kind of how I've been running. I figure if I run a sale, it would be down to that, 34.99 or whatever it is anyway. But they'd still have to pay the full price. It's kind of like a mental thing, I think, for the buyer. Like, oh yeah, he
Yeah.
countered, and then I accept, and it's lower than his full price, but it's fine with me because that's what I wanted. So
I do throw best offers sometimes on items that are like in kind of iffy condition because you have to find a buyer that really wants it. And so I'm trying to find the price for that person. Whereas
yeah,
like if something's in like perfect condition, it's like I know what it's worth. I'll wait till someone's
that's a
ready to
good
buy it.
point, man. Yeah, I totally understand. If you have like a print, like those boots, I don't know that I showed these boots, right? The ostrich ones.
Hmm.
Yeah, dude, yeah, I wouldn't really want to like, accept anything lower than what I think it's worth. But at the same time, I think of like me buying, maybe that's not a good thing as a business owner, but I'm kind of like, man, if I really want those boots and I'm going to drop 225 on them instead of like 300, I may be like, yeah, dude, whatever, like have a ball. But I think I'm actually going to keep those. Like, and I may like start a video with those on,
Do
so
it,
people
man.
legit boots. And I'll be like, thank you.
Yeah. I think you should keep them, dude. It's cool.
Because I would never spend that much money on a pair of
Right.
boots, like
That's the
ever.
thing. Treat yourself, man. We do this for a reason. Treat yourself. I wouldn't do something like that either. Dude, before I started, it's funny that I sell clothing because I always just bought like $7 t-shirts from Kohl's. Like I never spent money on clothing ever. Now I'm wearing, $110 shirts and like $90 shirts. And it's like, I'm only wearing them because I picked them up for $4 or whatever.
I don't know about you,
So
man, but I wear the same stuff like all the time. Like I don't change. I mean, I don't know. Like, and I have a lot of stuff that I've thrifted, but I find wearing the same things over and over again because like this shirt I have on, it's gray shirt. It was like a quarter at a garage sale, but it fits really nice in the sleeves. So every time I put it on, I feel like, yeah, this fits perfect. And I don't know. I like it.
yeah, pretty much. I wear the same pants. I only have one pair of pants. I just wear the same pair.
Dang. Are they
And then
sweats or are they like jeans or sweats? Like,
it's like a pair of they're Lululemon like sort of casual dress pants, so they're like kind of all purpose. They're like, yeah, they're expensive, dude. And previous to that, I don't
huh.
think I've ever spent more than like $20 on a pair of pants.
on
No
a
joke.
single item. Yeah, right.
And then I went in the store one time because my wife was just like, in the mall, whatever, in a store, and I was like, I want to go check out Lululemon. And I like tried on a pair of pants. I was like, dude, I'm not leaving here without these pants. And they were so
Dang.
expensive, and I went jumped from 20 to like what was it was like $130 or something. I was like, this is the most expensive piece of clothing I've ever bought, and but it's literally the only pair of pants I wear.
Dude, I'm all about like the minimalist mindset stuff, but it's so unrealistic with like my wife, dude. There's no way. Because
Dude, that's our main battle between us, dude. Same. She likes to spend money, and well, because we're entrepreneurs, right? So we want to be able to do the things that we want to do, and we have to be able to live minimal, so we can provide that, lifestyle for ourselves. And so
I
that's the way
like
we
it. I
think.
mean, I don't know. See, I was talking to my sister's boyfriend, or yeah, my sister-in-law's boyfriend, and I look at it as like when I have a clear space, like my head's much more clear. Like I can do much better. I'm okay wearing the same shirt every single day. Like, and I'll
Mhm.
only wash it like a couple of times per week, but it's fun. And yeah, like I gotta pause. I'll catch back up. I guess someone came to the front door.
No problem, man.
Okay. We'll just start it here. Like, when it comes to the minimalist stuff, so the way I look at it is like I have like a much more clear head when I have less things, and then I only use the same things right now anyway. So like all that other stuff is kind of just money sitting on the shelves. I have like 5 pairs of jeans and like a bunch of dress pants for work and a bunch of like cargo pants. And then I have like winter, I have all this stuff. And it's like, I always wear the same thing anyway. And it doesn't even get that cold here in Texas. So I really don't need all that. But then like I said, my sister-in-law's boyfriend, I always say that weird because, he's not in the family yet or whatever.
Yeah.
But he was like, but whenever you need like a tool or you need this or that, then you have it because you have so much stuff. I'm like, I guess, man, but it's like, it's more in my mind. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. It clutters your mind. That was something I remember specifically my dad telling me when I was a kid, or not a kid, but maybe like in high school. Yeah, I guess it's a kid. And he was like, just buy stuff when you need it. You don't need to pile on this stuff. He's like, when you need some, you go to the store, you go buy it. You don't need to have it sitting around. I don't know. That was just one of the things
I am a big
remember.
believer in like, if you're going to buy something more than like $100, it needs to be something that's going to last like a long time. I'm a big believer in that. So
I am a believer in buying, when you do buy something, to buy it quality so it does last, and doing research on the good companies and making sure you're getting the right item. But
yeah, another thing I do about like saving money on things, if anything is like something that like I want, I usually tell myself if I'm still thinking about it in 3 months, then I need to buy it. If I've forgotten about it, then you forgot about it and you don't need to buy it. But if you're still thinking about it months and months on end, you probably need to just buy it.
I tell it to my wife. She'll want something and she's like, I really want it, but I can't tell if this is just, because it's right in front of me and whatever. I'm like, let's go home. Just wait a couple days. If you still want it, we'll come back and get it. She's like, okay, that sounds fair. Yeah.
See, I tell my wife if it's over a certain dollar amount, don't buy it until you tell me, like, until you ask. But I don't know. Everybody, teach their own, I guess.
Yeah.
So.
All right. I don't know. Anything else you want to talk about, or you want to wrap things up?
I mean, yeah, I guess so. It's a super nice day outside. It's like 75 degrees. So I'm actually going to call some people and see if somebody wants to play catch. I'm really into like playing baseball and football. So like, the older I got, like the less people were into doing that though. They just don't want to get out and be active, but I'm really big on that whenever I can. So I think that's what I'm going to end up doing. I had a great time talking with you, man. Like I love reselling. We can do this again. And just keep at it, man. Keep at it.
Yeah, dude, it's funny. I haven't played football or baseball in a while, but I used to play a lot of basketball. But unfortunately, I feel like it's a pretty physical game. There's a lot of, I know it's not like, football where you're slamming into each other, but you're just playing catch. It's not like a game or whatever. But with basketball, I feel like all it takes is like you go for a rebound and somebody's foot lands under you and then you roll your ankle and you can't play for like, 7 months or whatever. So I don't know. Now that I'm getting older, I've been kind of getting out of it, but it's just so fun, man.
Killer, man.
Yeah.
Basketball's killer, dude. No, I've rolled my ankle so many times and I can't even play without those like lace things. And now I'm afraid.
Yeah.
I'm afraid. I love shooting the ball, but as far as playing full court or something, heck no, man. There's no way.
Yeah. I was for a while and I broke my hand. And I was like I broke my hand 3 times actually. Like I broke it healed. So I broke my right and then it healed. And so I started playing again, broke my left and then it healed. And then my right, it was the same injury. It just like, didn't fully heal and it ended up breaking again. And after that, I was like, all right, take a break. But
that's wild, man.
It's just so fun, dude. But yeah, I'm getting older and I'm like, I got a business I got to work on. I can't be getting injured. So
I know. No, dude. That's wild.
Yeah. But dude, I think you should make more videos. I think people like your content. I don't know if you think that or not, but man, I spend time editing my videos and putting a lot of work into it. And you have like what 5 times, 6 times as many followers as I do. I don't know. So people clearly like your content. And I think you should keep at it. And I feel like a lot of people quit before that 1,000 mark or whatever. And I don't know, do when you find, don't burn out. do when you have the time, but I think you should keep going, man.
Dude, with those words, Brian, I may start working on a video right now, man. I just want to,
Nice.
I want to get
Yes.
that going, man. I'm glad you enjoy it, and hopefully people that watch you, will get a kick out of them too, man. But yeah, I love yours, dude. Yours are pretty solid, man. Like they're done really well. Like I feel like you're just kind of a few steps away, like from blowing up too. I mean, just keep at it. And I say blowing up, like yeah, I'm like more, have more. I don't know, man. Sometimes it just needs to it needs to click. Like if you keep commenting on people's videos and like getting your name out there, like people will start like checking out your page, and seeing what you're doing. So yeah, I think you're doing great, man. Just keep it up.
All right. Well, thanks for the kind words, and we'll leave it at that. Thanks for coming on, man.
All right, later.
See you later.